Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever we meet you. How are you doing? Welcome to the Bridge Podcast, where our mission is to connect the disconnected and connect those that have never been connected before, or reconnect those that lost their connection at one point or the other. Expect politics, entertainment, social media, you name it, we have it here. My name is Obasa Olubanke.
Akọ̀jọ̀gbọ̀rọ̀ bí ọwọ́ aṣọ akínà wọn lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbàlagbà káàkiri gbogbo bí yòówé ti láǹfààní àti máa gbọ́ wa máa wò wá káàkiri àgbálá ayé eré ètò yín ètò wa ní afárá gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń wò gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó dáa lẹ́ẹ̀ máa bá pàdé ń bẹ̀. Abọ́lájí ọmọ Galadima ló kọ tèmi double ambassador Adésíyí lọ́rùn lónìí o ẹ gbádùn wa bí kà sí nǹkan.
I started remedial. I wanted to study medicine. Did remedial 1 year. And when the remedial result came out, I also wrote JAMB that same year. My JAMB was okay, but I needed someone to help me to push if I had wanted to study medicine. And I wasn't interested in pushing. So I waited for the placement from remedial. So when my friend went to check, they came back to me that my name was missing. They couldn't find my name because they were looking for my name at medicine, veterinary medicine, biochemistry,
All the things
related, but
he didn't turn up.
it was never. So when I got there, I knew I would get admission. I have passed, I have good results. My O level is okay. So the first list I would check by happenstance was just engineering. And the first name on the list was my name. Mechanical engineering.
From medicine to mechanical engineering.
That year, University of Maiduguri introduced some related medical courses. Dental, physiotherapy, and others. So I was advised by some of my friends, why not go to paramedical? And I put it at the back of my mind that I'm going to go and change my course. I went to see the HOD. HOD then was Dr. Dauda. Just came back from Japan. Very young doctor, sound. I wanted to express my mind. I'm not interested in this course. The man just saw me. I said, I am, just mentioned my name. I picked you.
Ooh.
Couldn't say I want to change my course. He now sat me down, was telling me told me the beauty of mechanical engineering, the branches, what mechanical engineering as a course can do for me. I couldn't tell him again that I wanted to change. All I did was, thank you, sir. I went to the library, brought out all the books on automotive engineering. I made up my mind that I'm going to become a mechanic.
Wow.
And that's how the journey started. When I got to Maiduguri, year 2000, 2001, Maiduguri was home of peace. Beautifully welcome. Before we came, there was in existence good relationship between the Yoruba community and the Kanuris because they are brothers. An average Kanuri man will tell you that they are related.
Wow.
Anybody with 7 tribal marks is a Kanuri man. Very kind, very generous. Everything that you can find in the Yoruba man, you find it in them.
Okay.
The language is also very similar. And they have respect for Yoruba people. So when we came, it was very peaceful, very easy. I think Boko Haram came at the tail end when I was leaving. And I could have been a victim.
Why did you say that? Did you have a close, almost incident?
I was one of the student union leaders, very popular in the school. And then we were having problems that started coming in, that when people come to the campus for attacks and small issues there. So
you've said so many things about your background, how you ended up being an engineer instead of being
a medical doctor. I'm now a doctor of cars.
Of course,
not human being.
And I want to believe that it has really, really helped in your political journey. But before you came into politics, or rather at one point you were not in politics at all, how did you end up being a politician, being a man of the people, being a man of advancement for citizens in Nigeria? How did you get there?
I didn't know how I get to politics.
You don't remember?
Somebody came to me yesterday. He said he's planning to become governor of his state in 10 years' time. And then what he wants me to tell him how people go about it. Say, how do people get into politics? For me, I don't know. If you ask me 100 times, I will tell you. All I know is that I have a father who was a politician. And people keep on coming to our house to discuss politics. Why I will sit down with him?
Sit down there.
And I have an elder brother. I've written an article on him. Everything that I know how to do in this world, it was my elder brother.
But no brother.
My brother taught me how to ride bicycle.
No.
How to survive the challenges in mathematics and numerical sciences. He taught me farming. He taught me how to fish. He taught me everything. He would take it as a job. So my brother was interested in politics. And he was in ABU. Zaria. So everything that is happening, when he comes back in the holiday, he will be asking me. So I have to relay to him. So fast forward, I had no option. I joined the political party, the party of my father. That was Congress for National Consensus. And in 1997, if you could remember, there was a local government election. Yes. That was the election I participated. And that was the day I made up my mind to become a politician.
Wow.
I participated in the election. I did mobilization, serious one. People of my age, I convinced them to go and vote. So when the elders felt that it's business as usual, they just saw people 18 years old, 19 years old, coming out to vote in an election and telling their parents that we have our candidate. This is the person we are going to vote for. After the election, I don't know what happened.
What do you mean by you don't know what happened?
I don't know what happened. I was just in my house, and some people came to come and arrest me. I was in my father's sitting room.
Arrest?
To come and arrest me. I didn't know up till now. Olopa. And what they said was that one polling unit somewhere, there was overvoting. Me, I wasn't an electoral officer. I was not an agent. I was not related to the polling unit. I didn't vote in that polling unit. But I discovered that those who lost the election, they were bad losers. They were so they were looking for somebody to hold on to. And because I've exposed myself in the day.
Yes.
So that's how I was arrested and locked up for 3 days.
For 3 days?
3 solid days.
So this was before Borno?
Far about Borno. This was 1997 and Borno happened in 2000, 2001.
Oh, wow.
So as I was leaving the police station, I made up my mind. I said, fine, I'm going to become the local government chairman of my of my local government. And that is the reason, if you tell me to go and bring Eledumare or God, nobody has ever seen him. I'm not trying to be sycophantic here. I will draw image of Abrazak Abraman and I'm going to give it to them. You know why? It didn't pay. How will I become a local government chairman? How will I become? I'm a politician, one of the best. I tell people, but I don't have this trend of running election, contesting election, because I don't like lies. I don't like it. If you are going to support me, support me. Nobody can ever tell you that I took money from him on the pretense that I will support you.
So you saying that you don't like lies is one of the reasons.
I don't like people deceiving people. Now, I don't think I have the strength of running for an election in this our very complex political environment. But for him to have made me to realize my childhood ambition, local government chairman,
you will always hold him supreme.
I will always give him that honor and respect. And if I am sleeping, if he calls me, I will not think twice.
You get up
to get out of my bed. And that mindset actually helped me when I was in office. It was not a coincidence that I was the best performing local government chairman. Kò síbi tí èmi àti gómìnà ti pàdé rí. Kò mọ̀ mí. Even nígbà tí à ń wá alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀, kò ṣe mi ni mo popular jù nínú àwọn tá wà. No, èmi náà ti lórúkọ, mo ti gbìyànjú o, mo ti lórúkọ o. Mo ti dé láti Èkó, mo ti star boy, Lagos boy. Àmọ́ ààyè yìí pé èmi àti wọ́n mọ́ra wa torí èèyàn ọ̀tọ̀ ló gbé mi wá. Kò ṣe ní tá lè sọ Moshood Mustapha ló gbé mi wá.
Moshood Mustapha.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ló gbé mi wá. Mo wà l'Ékòó mo ń ṣiṣẹ́. Àbúrò Moshood Mustapha jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi. Òun ló wá rí nǹkan tí mò ń kọ, because I'm a very good writer, political writer, I'm an analyst. Sorry, Moshood Mustapha sì ní ambition pé ó fẹ́ jẹ governor. Ló wá sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ pé ọmọ kan wà táwọn tó ń wò pé tó bá join àwọn yóò kún tíìmù àwọn. Sọ fún Ibrahim Adédoyin, former commissioner, ìyẹn ló wá pè mí. Bàtà ti ṣe primary, olúborí ti jáde, gómìnà ti jáde, mo dúró àjọsọ tó gẹ́ ni.
Ẹ wà nínú pàtó tó gẹ́.
Ó tó gẹ́ àjọṣe ni. Èmi ni ẹni aláǹkọ́kọ́ tó kúrò nínú ẹgbẹ́ PDP lọ join ẹgbẹ́ APC. Torí gbogbo wa yẹ ká jọ lọ ni, but èmi lọ ṣáájú àwọn tó kù. Ìdí ni pé
ní Kwara South.
Ní gbogbo Kwara. Ìdí ni pé níjọ́ tí mo ní Ibrahim Adédoyin pè mí. Níjọ́ tí mo ní Ibrahim Adédoyin pè mí, ó kọ̀ láta fẹ́ ṣe parallel congress. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó wà níjọba wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe congress APC. Àwọn Moshood Mustapha àtàwọn kan nínú ẹgbẹ́ wọn, wọ́n ti jẹ́ alátakò. Inú ẹgbẹ́ kan náà jọ wà ó, wọ́n ti jẹ́ alátakò. Bàtà pè mí PDP lèmi. Nígbà náà mi ṣe APC, mo ti ṣe APC rí tó yẹ pé àjọ bínú kúrò nígbà tí Sàràkí dé ni. So mo wá dé, ìtẹ́mi dé fún ìjà aláǹkọ́kọ́ tí mo wá jà nínú ẹgbẹ́ ni pé mo fẹ́ kàn ṣe parallel congress. Ìhun tán pè mí fún pé kí n wá ṣe because wọn ò rí èèyàn. Ẹ mọ̀ pé gbangba mo ti ń sọ yìí láti local government wa.
Isin local government.
Láti Isin tí ó participate ní parallel congress. So mo jí láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ òun lọ́mọ ẹgbẹ́ PDP. Nígbà tí màá sì fi sùn, lálẹ́ ọjọ́ mo ti di senatorial youth leader APC.
Bó ló ti jẹ́?
Wow.
Ọlọ́run ni.
Ọlọ́run báwo. Ẹ̀yin náà ti ń ṣe, bóyá ẹ̀yin náà ti ń ṣe parallel iṣẹ́ láti di APC.
Mi ṣe parallel iṣẹ́.
Ẹ jẹ́wọ́.
Ìdí ni pé ìdí tó fi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé èmi ò bá Sàràkí ṣe. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Okay.
So báwọn náà ṣe ní àwọn fẹ́ ṣe parallel congress ṣe against Sàràkí sáà ni. Ó ti yá. Àjọṣe parallel congress ni Dọ́ládọ̀túnlá mo máa ń sọ fún ọ̀gá mi Ráìmí Adédoyin pé kó kọ ìwé lórí parallel congress yẹn ló bí Otoge.
So you have told us about your challenges while you were active as the chairman. What are the things that you were able to implement? What were they?
Yeah, we started by making sure that all the abandoned projects that we met on ground, irrespective of who was actually working on it before, either we are talking or we are not talking, we brought all of them back to life. And the second thing was, when we came, I can say there are pictorial evidences everywhere. Our secretariat was looking, which was not looking like a secretariat. It was looking like another place entirely. And we concentrated to make sure that we fix the secretariat, complete renovation, the main hall, the offices. Then we moved from there. We tried to digitalize the work process at the secretariat. We brought in system and electronic equipment to do that. Then we moved to the health sector. I'm a friend of the department.
Especially because you wanted to become a doctor in the first place.
And because two former chairmen died just within 1 month or when I came to the office.
Oh.
And they were aged 50, 51. So I was thinking what could have actually been the problem. They were hypertensive and I said, okay, if they were living here and they could end up dying very early, then that means we need to work on our health system. So I started bringing back. We renovated Okeonigbe primary health centers. We identified 6 hospitals, 6 primary health centers that we came and installed with oxygen systems so that if they have emergency, they will not die before they move to. Our government was able to build additional 4 primary health centers.
4 health centers.
Yeah. We try to have the spread, and this even happened at the farmland where people go. We were able to do that because we felt that if there's going to be pandemic, it may likely happen from the farmland then to the city. Then we built the first laboratory. We have a central laboratory that people could take their samples and go and check their system. Then they could refer them back to wherever they are coming from. We identify people that are in need of potable water. We sank over 28 boreholes in 3 years, all across.
28? That's a good number.
We repaired like 14, new ones all across the local government, and we make sure that throughout our tenure, we opened the rural road. In fact, when governor came on, he was going to Ilere district and he had to pass through Isin to check Isin waterworks. When he came, one of the roads that we used was long abandoned, Okeonigbe Road. And when governor came, he was so happy that we are doing what we are meant to do. And when he got to Ilorin, he sent a letter of commendation to us. And we are the only council under him that got commended. And we have commendation from everywhere on what we have done. I had a letter from group of people that wrote to us. We provided, there is a technical college in Isin. That is the only technical college. It's community driven. And they came to us that they were not able to write WAEC because they didn't have laboratory. We provided them with laboratory.
So which of these projects do you think had the most impact on the people? Because you mentioned healthcare, you mentioned water. So which do you think had the most impact on all the people?
Yeah, the one that I actually saw in practical was the list of them, which is the oxygen we came to procure and set up. Because my PA, the wife, developed asthma and was about dying. We took her to the primary health center. And there is also a child that I saw. There is no way we could have gotten to Umara. So the boy was stabilized. I saw that working. Anybody can drink water. But the one that I saw practically that worked, I said, Then the second one, there was no water at the secretariat. I provided water. Our government provided water. So one afternoon, I was in my office and I was at the chapel, the secretariat chapel. We were praying, and somebody ran to me, Chairman, ina. There was fire outbreak.
Wow.
So it was the water we provided that we used to quench the fire. Now, if we had not provided water, I told them, if like the previous local government leaders, if we had not provided this water, the whole secretariat would have just been raised down. So I don't see big projects. I've seen small projects making the most impact. People don't know the meaning of autonomy.
Autonomy.
Have been there. I know how a local government is being run. If you don't want to have crisis, local government in Kwara has been running under autonomy as far as we know. Local government cannot exist outside the policy of the state government. It's not possible.
Okay.
It's going to cause crisis. They have joint responsibility. They have issues that they must do with collectively. Take for instance, we want to run on autonomy. Okay, each local government will collect his money and everybody will stay on his own. What of when we have joint staff? How are we going to pay salary of our staffs? The DPM of my local government is from Ilorin. So, do you mean that the DPM will now leave Isin and start coming here? Gratuity of those who have retired and pensions. So, the state will be jointly funded by the local government and the state. What people are clamoring for is an assumption. There is a way to make local government more effective than shouting autonomy, autonomy. People are shouting autonomy because they believe that once the money comes, the local government can just take his money and be going, who will fund the primary health care? How are we going to do it? What of the joint liabilities that they have? And I can say this, it's only a governor that does not love his people that will throw local government autonomy to people. I'm saying it in the open because local government are more viable than each other. If local government is so self-sufficient, even without the revenue, internet generated revenue, if a local government can be so sufficient that is now decided to be paying salary, you could pay the salary on time and everything is working smart. And the next neighbor
cannot achieve the same thing.
Cannot achieve the same thing. Do you know the crisis is going to bring? People people have not been trained to separate leadership and government. I'm using it as an example. Some people will still blame Tinubu for what a local government chairman is supposed to do in his village. Now, people will not be able to separate this local government chairman and from the seat of the governor. Before you know, governor was on salary. Governor was... So, it is not about the money that the governors... I'm not speaking for the governor. I have never been. It is not all about the money that the governors will have. It's about the safety of their job. Take for instance, we have 16 local government in Kwara. This is not a correct statistics for instance. And only 6 out of them could be able to pay salaries and do whatever, even pay Christmas bonus for staff and that. And 10. And the governor will now go to that 10, the remaining 10 local government and go and campaign for a second term. So people need to understand, what we need to do first is to understand what is the joint responsibility of the local government and the state, so that we will not be accused of just being sentimental. While I was the TIC chairman, I know that what we do is we take care of our joint responsibility, then the remaining we save, because allocation is not stable. This month is like this, next month is like this. We've had cases that the governor had to borrow us money to pay salary. Now, people must understand, I'm not against giving the local government their money directly. It is also a law that created the joint. It's not the decision of the governor that, okay, oh yeah, bring all the money. It is a law. No, now, if you want to dismember the law, you need to understand the implications. The implication is what the people on the street. And then, if a local government is existing under a state, then it cannot operate in isolation. The policy of the state supervises. Let's take for instance, Kwara may go on free education.
Okay.
It's a state policy. So what will the contribution of the local government? They will now do like this. The governor will now bring all his money and start spending for his people. So, and I was privileged to be taken. My local government was taken as one of the local government for model of how local government autonomy should be run. They visited me from National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. And my local government was even then adjudged as one of the best. And I spoke my mind. They asked me on local. I said the same thing that I'm saying. I said, provide opportunity for the local government to thrive. And one of the things that I told them is that remove anything that has to be agriculture from the federal, from the state. Take it as an exclusive responsibility of the local government. Let there be funding. Let there be budget. Let local government chairman sign and tell you what they want to do with that money. And then go there and help him to implement. And we see people going back to their village. The villages in Kwara South, for instance, is shrinking because there's no opportunity. There's no economic opportunity. Oro in the 80s. Yeah, I told you that my mother comes from Oro. Oro in the 80s has Salawa Motors, has candle industry in Doro, have Oro bicycle, had Oro steel. We are they have left. So until we are able to fashion out a system, the economic activity will go back.
Actually, we in the last part of it is what I want you to just very briefly just tell us about the bus conductor thing, and then your time in the
Yeah,
and then that will be the last for today.
I call myself a bus conductor because one of the application of mechanical engineering is to fix vehicles. So I don't know how I got into transport sector.
Yes, because the BRT in Lagos has to be is something that you were involved with.
Before then, I was the national fleet manager for Europcar, Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
Before then, I was the unit manager for Rider for Health. I was stationed in Enugu. And that was when I now left for Lagos. I got employment with Europcar, became national fleet manager. So that's where I started picking people, put them in the vehicle, but it was car. I worked in Europcar for a year plus, and Chisco came, Chisco Transport, workshop manager. So my service is to provide bus.
Okay.
And buses for the passenger, and that's how I became bus conductor. So from Chisco, I left for the BRT, but it was in the BRT that I actually practiced the bus, because it was a Lagos policy. It was not a one-man business. People are living from Ikorodu to Lagos Island every day. And the BRT that I work with primarily must get them to their work. So I work Monday to Monday, every week, no rest, as central workshop manager, central workshop administrator. Later, I became the acting head of maintenance. And I was there till I now find my exit. So when I say I'm a bus conductor, what I'm invariably saying is that I provide buses for passenger to get inside.
Well, you've had it straight from the horse's mouth. We've learned so much as a politician, as a bus conductor, as a true Ilorin, as a true Kwara, and as a Lagos boy. You have had so many things you've done in this, from being a youth all the way to now. And I just want people out there to know that, as he said, there are some things that will just come into your life that you may not have planned for. It will just happen. You may want to go in one direction, like he wanted to be a doctor, and then ended up being an engineer, and then doctor of cars now. Ended up being an engineer, which really impacted greatly in his political journey. Thank you so much, sir. If you feel like we didn't ask him enough questions, or you want to bring him on board again, or you want us to ask him questions so we can post on our page, you know where to find us. You can find us at the Bridge Podcast, or at the Bridge _ Podcast 247, or on Facebook at the Bridge Podcast 247, or you can drop comments on our social media channel, which is YouTube channel, the Bridge Podcast 247. Thank you very much, sir. We were happy to have you here. My name is Obasa Olubanke, and I am signing out.